Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we will be making a small wall hanging. Pretty easy pattern, so good for beginners too. And we're gonna use some beads, which I'm so excited about. I've never added beads to my project before, so this is something new for me to try as well. So let's dive into the list of supplies. I have a small dowel rod ready. This one is just 20 centimeters. And for this project, I'll be using this 1.5 millimeters, so really tiny cord in single twist in this sand or beige color, whatever you want to call it. The reason for it being this small, I'll tell you in a moment when talking about the beads. And in terms of how much of the cord you need, I'll put on the screen the total amount of cord. And then once we get to cutting the cords and putting them on our dowel rod, I'll tell you a little bit more about the lengths. So I've had these beads for quite some time now, and I was waiting for some inspiration for the perfect project to use them. Now, the reason why I'm using the small cord is so that I can thread the cord through these tiny little holes in the beads. If I used a bigger cord, I wouldn't be able to pull it through the center of those beads. And in terms of tools, I might end up needing a brush. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with the fringe. I'll put a note on the screen if I ended up using this. And then the other thing which I might need is this needle. Now the needle would be for threading the cord through the beads. And you can see that it's this special one because it has this gap right here where the cord is gonna go, and then you will just thread it through the beads. So we have our dowel rod ready. Now when it comes to cutting the cords, if you don't care about how much cord you use, you just want to make things simple, cut all of the cords at this length. If you do care about how much cord you use and you want to save some, go into the description box where I've done different cords at different lengths. And what we will do basically is put the longest cords in the middle where we're gonna have the higher number of knots, and then the shortest cords are gonna go on the sides. And once you have the cords ready, let's put them up with the lark's head knot. Okay, so I've put up 16 cords on our dowel rod with the lark's head knot. I am leaving the very last 2 cords, which are gonna go on here, till a little bit after. So we will add those 2, but you don't have to add them right now. And in terms of the pattern that we're gonna do here is we will do this kind of pyramid shape from square knots. So start making square knots across the entire first row there. So take your first 4 cords. First, this cord on the left is gonna go over the 2 in the middle. Then this cord on the right is gonna go across it behind the 2 in the middle and then out through this loop. And you will tighten. I'm being really careful with these small cords. And then you will do the same thing just from the other side. So first the right cord goes across the 2 in the middle. Then the left cord goes around it, behind the 2 in the middle, and out through this loop. And like this, you will continue with all the other cords in this row. So now that you have the full row, for the next row, we're again gonna do square knots, alternating ones. But first, you will take these 2 cords to the side because we're not gonna use them anymore. And so this is what you will do with each next row. You will take off the 2 cords on the side and work with the remaining cords to create this triangular shape. So now that we're done with the square knots part, I've added the last 2 cords to the sides here, and we are gonna do double half hitches all the way down here. So using these 2 cords on the edges, do double half hitches. So what you do is you take that first cord, put it underneath the travel rope, make 1 loop, pull it through, tighten, and then you do the exact same thing with another loop, pull it through, and tighten. And at this point, you take the next cord in line and you do the same thing. So I've gotten to the 3rd cord here, and I've realized that this gap here keeps increasing. So what I think I'll do maybe here and there is add on a 3rd kind of double half hitch. So just use that little rope one more time to add like a 3rd knot on there to try and close the gap a little bit more. And then I'll just keep going. And whenever again I see a bigger gap there, I'll just add a 3rd knot with that same rope. So in case you would run into this again, this is something that you can do. So we've got the macrame part done, and you can already see I've put up the first 4 beads on there as well, just to try it out, see how that's gonna work. I was using this teeny tiny needle in the process, so I'll show you how I'm working with it. So basically what I think I want to do, but I'll see how it goes, like put these 4 beads, like always 4 different beads on every maybe 2nd cord, and at different like different heights in the piece, and I'll just see what it looks like. You can see I actually haven't even tied any knots here. They just hold in place there, but eventually I would like to put like a little knot underneath each section just to make sure they stay wherever I place them. But I think I will do that at the very end once I know where do I want all of them to go. So I get my beads ready, but first I find the end of the cord, then open up this needle, place the cord through that needle, take the first bead, put it onto the needle, and kind of wiggle this through, wiggle the cord through, and then I'll place it somewhere. So all the knots are done. The very last touches I did is I trimmed the bottom. I trimmed it in this general like arrow shape, but not too precisely. And then I frayed the ends just a little bit so that it doesn't have that like fresh cut look. And that's it. It was super easy, super fast, and I think there are just so many color combinations that you can do depending on the beads that you choose, and obviously the cords as well. And please tag me on Instagram at Uzliki if you do recreate this, because I am so curious what you would do and what colors you would use. So please do that if you are gonna do something like this. And that was it from me for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.